10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Hello, I am your host, Idiot Burns. Welcome to Idiot Blog 437. Today we're featuring artist M. Dallas W. Uncle Broken Head in the room. Joey Esther. So I have two computers going, two phones, and an iPad. Oh yeah, and I forgot. It's snowing out here. Pacific Northwest, we're having snow. It's enjoyable. Today on the show, we're gonna call and have an interview. So in just a second here, I'll give this artist a call, and we'll discuss stuff about recording. Who knows? Who knows what we'll end up talking about? Oh, hey. I like this song a lot. I just wanted to listen to this song before I called. I was trying to start a little earlier than this. I have been here, sitting here for a good 30 minutes setting up this dang thing. It's insane down here. Two phones and an iPad. Two computer screens. Get out of here. Get out of here. Luella is not outside. You know, kids played outside. They got too cold. It was cold, and that was when it was warm. Now it's really cold. The kids would be like, ugh, out there. I don't know, they might enjoy it. Luella went down and ran in the middle of the cul-de-sac yesterday. Today, I don't know, she was sleeping when Mom got here, so she decided she'll just keep going, drive around, and go get her brother and pick him up so he doesn't have to walk in the snow. Okay, we've listened to one track. We'll give him a call. Yo, yo. See how this works. There we go. Loud. There we go. Volume right.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good.
All ready for the show here?
I'm ready.
Alrighty.
How did you get into music? I'm just gonna start with that.
How did I get into music?
Yeah. What
It's a
got
good
you
place to
started?
start.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will go back maybe 20-something years ago. I was lucky enough to have parents who kind of forced me to do it. You know, back when I was a little kid, I started on the violin and the piano.
Yeah.
But back then, I actually, believe it or not, I was really not into it, and I would pretend to, you know, be asleep for my lessons and try to miss them. But that's basically how I got into it. It wasn't until maybe years later where all of a sudden it just kind of clicked, and I started writing my own original music and got back into it.
Yeah. Violin, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So, how long did you play violin? Do you still play violin?
I probably couldn't play much of it, maybe on a synthesizer, but violin was pretty awesome. It was one of the more difficult instruments to learn how to master.
Yeah.
I preferred the piano. I do a lot of my songwriting on the piano, actually.
Oh, you do?
So,
yeah. I don't have a lot of experience with piano, to be honest. I always think about it. I always go, man, it'd be really nice to get a keyboard. I was just thinking about it just a couple weeks ago. I was actually browsing. I was starting to think, I should buy a keyboard for in here, just so that I can start to understand the instrument, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
Do you-
one of the best instruments
Do you use
to have for
keyboard a lot?
understanding music theory. I do.
Yeah, yeah. How big is your
I
keyboard?
How big is it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have two. I have one that's
Yeah.
like a fully weighted, you know, electronic piano that I can plug into MIDI.
Yeah.
That's 88 keys. And then
Yeah,
I have another 49 key that I use for, you know, MIDI instruments and things like that.
yeah. Does it have like what those? Do you have those controls where you can kind of toggle and change the pitch?
Oh yeah, the pitch bend. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They also have velocity pads that are great for drumming and
Yeah.
doing, you know, programmed drums, electronic drums.
Yeah. How do you like what you have?
Honestly, I think it's pretty perfect for anyone. What I use is the Innovation Impulse 49 key MIDI
Yeah.
controller,
Yeah.
and then I have a Yamaha P90 stage piano, which is the fully weighted one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets all the tricks done.
Yeah. Do you use like a sustain pedal at all with it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They also have expression pedals, which are great for drawing in MIDI and you know, really making it sound authentic and human.
Yeah. What? Explain to me. I think I kind of know, but explain to me, like, what is it when you? What does it do when you press the sustain? Is it the same on every instrument? Is there different things it does?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same on MIDI instruments if you have it plugged in for the sustain. But you could also, I think, in theory, use it in the expression plugin, depending on your MIDI controller's capabilities.
So like,
basically, the sustain, yeah,
in,
just
in
you know,
MIDI,
sustain
does
the
it?
note.
It just stretches the note. The whole keeps every note that you played while that's depressed, like going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, essentially.
So like if you're using it like on a piano, it'd be like it'd still just be the dung dung dung, but it would keep ringing. It would be less muted, right?
Definitely.
But on like brass, you could get it to go like one note, another note, another note, and be kind of like building up.
Yeah, for those instruments, it's called latching. They also use it for like sequencers and things like that, where you press the key once and it will hold that note down so you can move on to playing something else, and it creates like a full orchestral effect.
Right, and that still works with the sustain foot switch or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I love doing that. I love doing that stuff. Just playing around, playing around with. When you get a new instrument, like you get like new ideas.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely adds to your bag of tricks and your creative collection you can draw from.
Right. Like you don't play the same thing. Like, okay, you might play some of the same things. I'm not gonna say you don't play the same thing, but if you don't play the same thing when you like pick up a banjo as you would on a guitar, you end up playing it different. Even if you're trying to play what you're playing on the guitar, it doesn't come out the same no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It just inspires you to do something totally different.
Right. So then, yeah, the more you play another instrument, the more you do like unconventional things or whatever or you end up going and just learning new things, one or the other, depending. And you don't play the same thing, so you might write something different.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a key part of songwriting in general, is that maybe a good 30% of it should just be experimental.
Yeah.
Features like that can really add to your depth and texture that you can provide.
Yeah, it's a little bit more intuitive sometimes when you do that. Like it actually it's easier at that time to do it sometimes than to always fight and try and get like perfect takes and do like perfectionist. You have to also experiment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if
the more muscle memory you get with that, it'll make you a better producer overall. So then, when you're going to write songs or work with someone else, you know exactly what sound to use and where and when to use it.
Yeah, because when you hear something that sounds maybe not the same but something similar, you get you can kind of go, I don't know, you kind of get the idea of it quicker. Like you're saying, you get to fit in the pocket better, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah. And it's totally you ever do it like in person when you're jamming too? It's like a different. It's the same thing, but it's different. Like you actually feedback in like microseconds. If you ever jam with a person and jamming with a different person, even the same instrument you played 10 minutes before becomes different than when you were playing it 10 minutes before on your own in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that when you're playing live like that, it really demonstrates more like mastery over your instrument, and it just looks more professional. And you're going to want to be like that when it comes down to performing and jamming live.
Right. It's awesome. Right now, it's playing "In Your Morning Dew," and right as we ended up saying that, it goes like dun 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 dun, and like has like this little ending moment, and I love that when that happens.
Yeah, that was one of my it was more of my like film score collection for that piece. It's meant to go for just like a scene in a movie.
It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I saw that you have been doing it kind of like as well.
Yeah, I know. And you know why I've been doing it? Because not because I just like the idea of doing it for so long, and I hadn't done it. And then you sent me that link, and you did that to that little short video, and I was like, oh, I gotta do that. I gotta actually do that. You wanted to do that so long, Chris. Just go do that. Do some. Have fun. Do that. Experiment. Do it. Don't not do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's better to just give it a try rather than not at all.
And then I can listen to them. Right, for maybe a year, go back and listen to them a few different times, space it out, and you go, to some spots, you're like, maybe if I did this, it would have been better. What did I do there? That's, and then you can try and do another edition and make improvements based on those, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That'll all come. That process will become much quicker. The more familiar you do spend more time with your sounds and just getting more acclimated with new gear and things like that.
Yeah, I'm using that app you sent me because it's so damn fun.
Which one was it?
So you sent me that Synth One, that app.
Oh yeah.
That's all I use. That's all I use on those songs.
Hey man, yeah, that's so perfect. Let's do it real quick. Let's just do like a shout out to the makers of that one.
Oh yeah.
It's probably one of the best sound collections you can find. It's by a company called Audio Kit Pro. They have an app for iOS and I think Android as well.
Yeah. It's awesome, dude. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun when I'm watching. You know what I started doing? You know what you can do? You're sitting there and you're watching a TV show or you're watching a show, and all of a sudden you get a moment and you think to yourself, right now there could be more of this creepy sound, and you just open the app and you go, I don't know why that's so funny to me, but I'm watching a suspense thriller.
People look at, like, they'll look at you and be like, "What are you doing?" Like, oh, that's what I would put there.
That's what, yeah,
there.
exactly.
Should have been there.
That should have been there.
Too funny. Right on.
Do you ever drink energy drinks? It's because I'm drinking one right now. My God, I love it.
I sure do. I noticed that you're all about those monsters. That cracks me up.
You know, okay, I gotta explain why I drink that. I drink that because it's the best one for my body shape, to be honest.
For your body shape? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how I keep thin. No.
I'll have a junior bacon cheese.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I love those. They're my favorite, for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Really puts a whole new glide in your stride, huh?
No, you know what? So if I don't drink those, sometimes you see me, I'll drink a beer on here, but the thing is, if I don't drink those, let's just say a couple days go by and maybe a day goes by and I don't drink them, and then maybe I was drinking milk or was drinking juice, or there was a couple pops, and I just had a little bit of caffeine, and then the next day I don't have it. There's nothing in the house. And then half the day goes by, and I'm going like, I'm doing this crazy shit. I'm going like, laughing and trying to make the kids all goofy. I'm all of a sudden ADD as hell. I'm going, am I making this random voice, guys? And they're just like I'm goofing with the kids and doing random stuff. And my wife's like, you need to go to the store and go get some monsters so you can calm down, dude. You are too much. I'll be like trying to land on her like a plane, land on my wife.
Like, Daddy hasn't had his monsters for today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, so I noticed that that first song you were listening to on the playlist. You said you liked it a lot, right?
Oh, I listened to that like 4 times in a row before I even started doing the blog because the lyrics.
Right? They're so relevant today, like just modern times.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just talk about that song a little bit because who I made that song with is actually a good friend of mine, and it's one of my clients with MDW Design Ltd. But he's also here on BandLab. His username is at Kudzoo. Kudzoo.
Kudzoo. Kudzoo. Sweet.
Yeah, and he wrote the vocals and the lyrics to that song, and I think some of the background music was provided by another BandLab user named Sasha. He's our friend from Russia. He's one of the very talented people on BandLab, and it really came together nicely.
Yeah, it did.
He said the lyrics are just super profound, and I think everyone could benefit from hearing them, really.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it besides saying it's like a viable song. That song it's lyrically relevant. It sounds very professional, and it sounds good. It sounds like you kind of just want to listen to it again and just start memorizing the lyrics so you can sing with it, if that makes sense. And that's probably the best compliment you can have when you have a song. It's like you actually want to sing with it.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he'll appreciate that if he's listening right now.
Right.
I think the same thing about his songwriting ability, and a lot of his lyrics are super relatable and really hit home for me.
Yeah, that's a good track. Right now we're doing this Night Wax on Mars with an E.
Oh, on Mars.
Mars.
I kind of put that one together to kind of be like a tribute or play off of one of the most classic producers of all time, which is Nightmares on Wax. And he does a lot of the original like dubby style tunes that you hear in remixes, for example, like by guys like Pretty Lights and other producers in the DJs and stuff, it's super widely known for being featured in their mixes and things like that.
Oh, sweet. I don't even know the artist, man.
Yeah, if you've ever heard that song, I guess by Pretty Lights, where it's like, I've got a good feeling,
No, I don't know if I know that band or not. I have to look it up afterwards. Pretty on Wax?
I would sing it for you, but I don't know if I should embarrass myself.
Night Wax and Pretty on Wheels is the name of the other band?
It's Pretty Lights.
Pretty Lights. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting all the names confused here. I didn't know. Pretty Lights. I don't know that. I don't think I know that. I might know it, and I just didn't know I know it. You know how that works? Like you hear the song and you don't know you know it.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll share a link for it in the chat here.
Sure. We're not going to listen to it. No YouTube strikes. We're listening to the good stuff.
All right.
I like to keep it on the artist, though. You know how that is. We'll listen to your stuff. Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to it later then.
Yeah.
So moving forward, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So, you play what instruments? You play keyboards. You also play drums.
Yeah, the drums are actually my primary instrument. I also play a little bit of guitar, bass, and pretty much anything you can put on a MIDI controller after that. But
yeah, how do you record your drums?
It depends on what setup I have accessible, but I have an acoustic kit. I'll either mic up, or for just when I'm like playing late or anything like that, I have a Roland TDK50 electronic drum set, which I usually use to record. It's working pretty nicely.
I already knew that. I already knew that, but now they know that. Yeah, that's an awesome kit. So do you record, when you recorded, here's an example, because you recorded to that song, the Toxic one, right?
Yeah.
Toxic Stoner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all on the playlist, by the way, the collection.
Dude, isn't that awesome? So, okay, sorry. We're going to do some more. That one's awesome. So, when you recorded those drums, what did you do?
I used the Roland for that one. And I just, run it through the brain of the Roland, and then put it through my my audio interface, and I'll mix it down.
You do like a stereo output?
Yeah. And then I'll put it in the 1 and 2 input of the interface.
Yeah. Yep.
Ideally, what I would want is just to get a separate mixer for it and be able to, do it individually for each drum. But they kind of have a mixer on the brain, so you can kind of pre-mix it before.
Yeah.
Just doing studio work.
Is there a way to do all the tracks out of this into different channels? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah. You just have to get a separate, separate mixer that has enough channels for all the drum, like maybe like a 16-channel mixer, and then run that in as the interface itself.
Like have a. You need like a 16-channel interface.
Yeah, basically. It would just be like a mixer.
Oh fuck, that doesn't work on my iPhone, dude.
It's so funny. Oh my. Well, yeah, I don't know if it would work on the iPhone. That would be interesting, but you know what? They do make an app for it on the iPhone. You'd have to get the separate app for it by what's the company? Pretty common. They're sound classics, like in terms of the gear. Let me see. Studio monitors. They do studio monitors and all this, everything else you would need, but
yeah.
They have an app that basically is a semi-digital, semi-analog controller for, the mixers. You could just do it right on the iPad. It's actually on the iPad. Sorry, my mistake.
Ah, yeah. Mine's old.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, though. Like it's a bit much doing that. It's kind of just nice that you have the mixer right there.
Right.
Yeah. What's the weather like where you're at? Because it's snowing where I'm at right now.
Oh man, I can't imagine. I'm over here in Southern California, San Diego, and it was actually a gorgeous day today.
Sweet deal.
I think there was even a green flash that took place this evening.
But a green flash.
Yeah, the legendary green flash.
Like he's not wearing his normal red and yellow. He's wearing green and yellow suit this time.
That's too funny. The green flash, yeah, it's like the combination of the Green Lantern and the Flash.
Yeah,
it happens all at once.
Yeah, he wears a ring. The ring makes him go really fast.
Yep. No, if anyone actually, if you're not familiar with it, it's when the sun touches down at the ocean horizon, and right when it does that, the light kind of like shines through luminescently through the water one last time for the day, and it creates this amazing like aurora borealis effect where the whole sky goes green.
Oh, it has to be a certain amount of calm or something for that to happen.
Oh yeah, it has to be. There can't be any clouds. It has to be very peaceful, glassy water.
So right as that happened, you're like, shit, I gotta go play the drums.
Yeah, exactly. It really it revs me up.
Green flash. You can play really fast now, right? Yeah.
Yep. That's too funny.
Hey man, when you play the drums, you ever whack your knuckle so hard it splits the skin open?
Oh yeah, during practice, so many times there'll be times you miss the drum completely, and you hit your thigh, leave a nice welt for you.
Oh yeah, I don't think people realize how physical drumming is until they really see someone drumming. Sometimes you never see someone drumming until once you do, you go, oh damn. It's like
4 different limbs at once doing different things.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Think about there's a lot of sports out there, right? That this is just my comparison. There's a lot of sports out there where you got to think about what's could go on next, right? A few different paths. You got to look. You got to know what's going on to your left, your right, and right in front of you, right? And you got to maneuver it physically, and you're kicking your butt, and sometimes you get hurt, you get scuffed, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's drumming. It's a sport. I swear it's a sport.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most physically demanding instruments you could play.
Yeah, dude.
Because you got to be looking ahead at where you're going to hit the drum next. You got to be thinking about the part and your section and placement in the song, and keep it all in dynamic, and really just make sure you're. The best way to look at drumming is like flying a kite.
Right.
And if the kite doesn't have enough wind, it won't fly, and if there's too much wind, it'll overpower it and crash to the ground.
Right.
And, the song itself is the kite, and the drums are the wind. So you got to be able to make it fly just right.
I like that. It's a balance. You could overdo it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget one of my inspirations in music growing up. He's a legendary drummer himself. His name's Vikas Srivastava, and he was the MIDI professor and music teacher at my high school over here in San Diego. But if he ever hears this, shout out to him, and thanks for being such a good influence. But this guy's a total genius. Went to Harvard and got his law degree, and just was super well decorated, way overqualified for the position. But he understood how important it was to teach kids music, and that's what he came back to do. Given all that he's done, and that's something. Just a quick touch on that. Music education is something that I'm really passionate about, and it's really important to make sure that we never let our younger generations forget that, because basically music, especially music theory, should very well provide all the answers that we ever have been seeking in terms of human existence and scientific aspects of it.
I always, what? Here's the thing that's really funny is I always find out when I work in all these different industries. I work in all these different places where you got to be proficient, you got to be technical. All these technical fields. There's a lot of scientists. There's a lot of people with, PhDs in different, disciplines. Everything from software to microscopes and optics and all kinds of things, right? All these things. And almost unanimously there's a certain number of the people that are the people that are coming up with the ideas and originating things that happen to be musicians.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever talk with them about that, or ask them what their inspiration is, or
I always, whenever I meet an person who plays instruments, not only do I want to actually find a way to get, like, I always get this urge whenever I'm talking to any musician, I just want to go get in a room and jam with them. I can jam with, I want to try and jam with anybody. So to me, I don't try to, so, and that's the main thing. And then secondly, so if I can't jam with them, I'm gonna talk to them about it like crazy until I can, like I'm gonna talk to them about music,
Totally.
Yeah, and I mean you can't do it too much when you're at work, but I mean if when you're at work and you're getting off work and you're both getting off at the same time, sometimes you'll sit at the doorway and talk 20 minutes to a person who's a musician just about different, not just different music that you like, but different things that you do when you play. I always think about jamming with people all the time. I just want to jam with people. I wish it was more accepted and more normal and more people did it, so that it wasn't. So it was like everywhere you go. I don't know. That's just my dream.
Yeah, it's totally. You just want to see, like, there's this unspoken kind of connection that you get with most musicians, and it doesn't really come out until you get to jam with them. And you see how well you mesh and blend with other artists. It's really a cool experience. Yeah,
like I went and tried out. Like, here's an example. I went and tried out in this one band one time, and they were like, I listened to their music, and it seemed kind of hard rockish, kind of medium to hard rockish. I go in there, and they didn't have any of their electrics. They just had the acoustics, right? And they're like, listen to these songs, and they showed me the songs, and I was like, okay, but that's not going to translate. We should have just practiced with guitar. And so he goes, oh, okay, let's go down, let's do it now. And we go down, and it was the weirdest blend ever. And we jammed, and we did these songs, and we did them, and we should have listened to maybe tapes or something, because I don't know. The way he's like, he showed me the songs on acoustic. I don't know what he wants on drums, right? I have no idea.
Right.
I got no idea what you want. So we go down, we play it, and it was a totally different blend. And he said this to me: I've never played with a drummer like you, and I like it. So we should jam. But you do not play these songs right, and you're not going to be in that band.
Oh man!
I was like, you're not the style for what these songs are. But he's like, your style, we should write music together. And so we jammed a couple other times, but it's like, fell off, I guess. But he said that, and that's what started a different path. Sometimes you try out for something, you go and you try and be in the exact band, and it's like, it isn't a fit, but it's like, oh, I want to jam with you still. That was cool, what we did do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny, one of my favorite bands, they recently had an audition for a new drummer. This is Dream Theater, if you're familiar. Yeah. And they, their original drummer went and played with another band, Avenged Sevenfold. So they auditioned new drummers, and I know that the drummer they actually ended up picking wasn't the best drummer necessarily out of all the ones they auditioned. Yeah. And later, like, the keyboardist and the guitarist ended up forming a band with this other drummer. It's really awesome. But
what's that band called? I don't know that band.
The other band?
No, I know Dream Theater, and I know about how the drummer left and went over to do. He did like Flying Colors with Steve Morse and the old keyboardist from Spock's Beard. Right?
Yep.
And
yeah.
And he's doing other stuff. He's doing all kinds of other stuff, right? But
like Winery Dogs and
Winery Dogs, yeah. Yeah.
And then he has this Neil Morse band is the other one.
Yeah. He's
one of my favorite.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying he's one of my favorite drummers of all time. Actually,
Mike Portnoy.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Portnoy, man.
Yeah.
He A quick little side story is I actually have had the opportunity to play and make music with their live tour manager, their live like sound manager for the tour, I should say.
Yeah.
And we made some pretty epic music and ended up covering some of their Dream Theater's own songs. But coolest thing for me was that he actually calls me Portnoy, which is like kind of one of my
cool
underground biggest achievements. But
hell yeah, dude.
It was a fun little side story.
Oh yeah, that sounds cool, dude. Yeah, man, I cannot play, dude. I cannot play at that level. I mean, I'll sit there though. My wife would be like, "Well, you've been playing that song for 23 minutes."
It's the same song.
Yeah. I know. That's how long it is.
She's like, "It's all right, babe. Just one more song. Just one more. It'll be, that's it. I promise." You play Octavarium.
Yeah. So earlier today, she was taking a nap, and I did this live show where I played my guitar into my guitar amp that also has a pickup that makes an octave lower into the bass amp, and then it has the MIDI, and I'm controlling a synth 1 sounds and changing them. And I jammed, and I just was playing a riff and then playing a different riff, had a drum beat going, and my wife was like, "You were playing for 3 hours." Felt like 3 hours. You were in there. I was like, "That's one song."
Really? I can tell.
She's like, "I thought it was one song. It had a bunch of different parts and spots where you kind of stopped in the middle."
That's so funny. But that's a cool. I mean, not many musicians have that ability to be able to get into that flow where they can just jam like that, and that's something really cool that you were able to do right there.
People got to know I do that most of all. I try to do that as much as I can. Maybe lately I have been doing it less. I've been watching more TV just for some damn reason. I wonder why.
Yeah.
I'm trying to research these dang... I'm watching thrillers and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen to the different sounds they do. I'm like, it's funny because when I hear those, I'm like, no, too simple. Too simple. It needs to be more complicated than that. It needs to be it needs to be more dissonant. Can't you be more dissonant than that? You just played one note. You just played one note. That was one note.
Yeah. Like it's notes over and over again, but it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah,
like
that
Mr.
too.
Holland. Hey, you know what's great though is the soundtrack for the movie called The Others.
The Others. Oh.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Is that
it's not really a soundtrack, it's kind of a joke.
Oh, what is Others?
The Others is the one with Nicole Kidman and where they all realize they're dead kind of thing. And, but there's not really a soundtrack at all. It really emphasizes the silence in that movie.
Oh. like a soap opera.
Yes, exactly.
You're like sitting there going, "What? Why is it?
Yeah.
Why is it? It sounds cleaner. It sounds nicer than my house." Kids, shut up! I want what they have on the soap opera. I want silence behind me. Just my voice. Shh! Kids, shut up!
I don't say.
I had to do I did a couple interviews this week. Totally crazy. I quit smoking weed, but I did an interview at a place that would be growing weed.
Oh yeah.
Growing weed for legally.
Growing the pot?
Yeah. And I was like, I quit. But I would. And she goes, there's a bunch of people here that don't smoke. I was like, oh. Okay, cool. I was like, but I don't know if I can be around it. I'm thinking to myself. But I didn't say anything. I'll just wait and see. And then I had another group call me. And so, you know much about microchips?
Microkids?
Microchips.
Oh, microchips. I know a little bit.
So if you ever look on the microchip, you look on the board, sometimes you see these little circular shaped like spots that have nothing covered.
Yeah, just on the motherboard itself.
Yeah, like you look on the motherboard, they're just like these little dots. And they're like little, they have like a little hole in the center sometimes, usually. and they're these little dots, and they're exposed, and the silver is showing. It's not covered in. It's exposed spots.
Right.
I was sorry, my throat. 1 second.
Have some of that Monster.
Oh my God, I've been having this thing in my throat for like 6 months that goes back and forth. It's like this, where I have to clear my throat, and it's basically since I quit smoking, I've been getting it. It's kind of annoying.
Aw.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like I'm spitting up 15 years of phlegm right now, kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah. So they interview me. This company that interviewed me, they make the test beds where you would put one of the, like a board that's finished. They have you make a board. This company.
Yeah.
And then you also make the test bed that would go, the board would go into, so that
Okay.
you either have it yourself, or you manufacture it for them and you have to warranty it, I think. So I think that's what they do is they either they have some there and they're building them, or they're also, some of them are already out there and they've stopped working and they need to get serviced, and they have like these little spring contacts, and you press it's kind of interesting how it works, but those little spots on the board is what these little pin contacts will touch, and then they go through a certain set of tests, either with it on or with it off, to test all those components and make sure they're working.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they build the equipment that you would use to test those chips, so help mass produce them quicker and assure that they're, a certain level of, I don't know. Some people test.
Control.
Yeah, some people test every board. Most of the time, you test every board. It just depends on what the project is. Sometimes you do something that's not. You make a ton of them, and you don't need them to all be like tested. But usually, yeah, you test them all. Unless it's certain. I don't know, just small, like I said before, just small niches. You don't have to test every part. Like, for example, when I was working at one place, we were building these like $10 parts, like hundreds of them, and sending them out. And when they would put them into use, some of them wouldn't work. We just would fix them. Other times, and they were like, don't bother testing every one of them. That would cost us this much more. We're going to go put them in before, and if anything has a problem, well, sometimes the price just works out. It's cheaper to do it that way, and that's what they choose to do in a company,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but yeah, and so they'll do that. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about here, but just kind of rambling on about electronics.
Well, yeah. So, like, bringing that back to music theory, you're saying like it's interesting to learn how so many people in different fields and departments all have a foundation in music.
Yeah.
And one thing I've been noticing, or actually kind of doing the research for myself, is drawing these, I guess, correlations between not only music theory but color theory and electrical theory, even, and any other kind of theory that is applicable to a field of science or manufacturing. It really is all the same thing in a different language or set of vocabulary.
Oh yeah, it's all electrons flowing in waves.
Yeah, really. And so, like, what I've been doing recently is, bringing it back to the music education with kids. I've been developing a curriculum called Music Science and the Theory of Existence. And what it talks about is just, explaining, the existential parts of humankind and our philosophical perspectives on reality and things like that, to help bring more understanding to more people by using, music theory or electrical theory. And once you understand one set of theory, you can understand them all. Just a matter of how you translate each term, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty intriguing. And that's, so, like, bringing that to a point here is that I'm working on developing a new music audio interface, or MIDI controller, so to speak, that's called Chromatophoria Music. And, just like a chromatophore, which is basically the cell the biological cells inside of like octopus and chameleon that allow them to change color and adapt to their environment. So that's kind of where I got the name. But
Yeah.
so what it does is it allows you to do pitch training by, like, if you see a color, you'll know exactly what musical note that is just by seeing the color. And it's on like a touch, like if you have an app on your iPhone, it would be a touch screen that allows you to draw and drag and swipe and pull across the color board that would give you different sounds, and it would be a synthesizer, so you could create new leads and new sounds that nobody's ever heard before just by drawing colors.
How do you know what color is what note?
It would basically, you can look at the pitch frequency. So if you took the circle of fifths in music theory, you've also heard of like the color wheel of, for color theory in art.
Sure.
And if you just overlap those, that's how it lines up, is the exact pitch on the exact circle of fifths.
But what about this? There's some people who, when they hear certain notes, they see colors in their brain.
Yes.
What if it's not the same colors?
What if it's not the same color?
Because some people it's really distinct. It's like basically that's the color that they're seeing in their brain is actually dictating the note, and they're thinking of colors, and that's how they play their instrument.
Yeah, actually, that's what gave me the idea, because I happen to be one of those people, and that's actually, it comes from a condition that's it's a mutation, really. It's just like an X-Men mutation that only 0.05% of people in the world have it, and it's called Synthesia.
Yeah.
And basically, it associates colors with everything, like, with numbers. You could be like, hey, what color is number 7? You'd be like, oh, it's it's blue, or brown. People sometimes will have fluctuating definitions for what colors they see, but generally they all have the same. They can all see the same thing. For example, like the color 12, or the number 12 is the color white, and that's interesting because if you look at a musical scale, in the Western theory anyway, there's 12 different chromatic notes inside of one octave, with the sharps and flats and each white. Basically on a piano, each black and white key.
Yeah.
So it's just like taking all the colors of the rainbow and putting it through a prism, it would create that white light. So it's just kind of an interesting concept to think about.
I'm looking over to see if my wife is listening, because my wife, she thinks that she is that also. It was synesthetic, whatever that is. She basically sees colors, and it's amazing because me, when I play music, I'll sit there and I hear emotions. Right? I hear emotions. I'm like, if I were to describe like a power chord, I would describe it as positivity. But if you were to take and you were to lower the perfect fifth down one flat, you get the triad and you get suspicion. When you go down one more note and you got a perfect fourth, you have action. When you go down one more note and you have, a major? There's a minor third or whatever that is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think so.
When you go to that, you have sadness. And for me, like it just goes on. Every single note interaction has something. And different,
you're totally right.
Different degrees of it. And that's how I think of it. And I just play those. And I forget about the key sometimes. And I just play the different feelings back and forth.
That's pretty awesome. And there's science to what you're talking about. I'll share that with you right now. If you were to remember the key that you are playing in, each key itself has its own emotional musical connotations. For example, I actually have the official defined list right here. Like C major, the key of C major is like a completely pure key. It speaks of innocence, simplicity, naivety. Or you could look at a key that's more complex, like C sharp minor, and that's it's like having a conversation with God.
Why'd you do C sharp minor? Because that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. That's what I do all the time. I literally just go for C sharp. I go when I go on YouTube and I want a backing track, I go C sharp minor.
Yep.
Every time.
And a great example of that key is My Immortal by Evanescence. You know, it's really emotionally heart-wrenching, I think, if you listen to it. Are you familiar with that one?
I'm not. I think so. I saw them live, so I'm pretty sure I heard it.
It's like their slow, piano ballad that she really pours her heart out on.
Yeah.
And
I ended up winning, my mom ended up winning tickets and giving them to me, and I took my bandmate and we went. We saw Evanescence. It was awesome. It was actually awesome.
Yeah, I really like him actually.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna go see Evanescence. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, all right, let's go see him. And then we're sitting there, we're like, move forward. We gotta keep moving forward, dude. Get all the way up. See what they're doing. This is good.
Yeah, well, so like it's interesting that you can definitely relate to that emotion behind the music.
Yeah.
Because it's like I find this to be the most intriguing about music theory is that one of the keys that most commonly is heard in any pop song or anything like that is A major, and that is the key, the official key for love, for declaration of innocent love.
Well, then I don't want to play. I don't want to play in that one. Then no way.
Well, it's so funny because if you look and take an equalizer and try to isolate the frequency of the key of A, you get 440 for the frequency.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows what somatics are, you'll also know that 440 is pretty much the frequency of chaos.
Whoa!
Interesting
Love
to realize
is
that
chaos.
Humans get addicted to that chaos, and it's just all ironic, really. But it's just it's really cool to correlate the colors symbolic colors between each emotion, and when you're writing songs and when you're watching a movie, you evoke all these emotions based on what you're seeing, and trying to match that emotion with the music is really, I think, it's really a great skill that if you master it, that's something that speaks volumes about you. No pun intended.
Yeah. But do you got good tone?
But you got exactly.
You gotta have good tone too.
Oh yeah, exactly. And all those qualities will come into play when you're trying to. You asked what note is what color. So if in chromatophobia, for example, the tone and different qualities of the sound, like the timbre, just the dynamic, the velocity of it all, that will all be affected by shade or the hue of the color and the saturation. Those are all the same things you can see when you're editing a picture. Those will basically be what changes the quality of the note too.
So
that makes more sense.
Yeah, that does kind of make sense actually. It's pretty cool. And you would be able to control it. What is it in a square palette or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm if you've ever done a photo editing app, there's kind of that little circle that it gives you where you can draw around to find the correct shade, and then you can, in the middle of the circle, there'll be the different hues or the transparency you can control.
You ever see the ones that are kind of more like a bell shape almost, and it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different designs for it, but I know the sliders on the L-shaped one, and then there's the color field spectrum where you can change the hue. That's generally the same concept, but it would create sound as you're doing it.
Think about that though. You get good at the square, and so you have a new option that you can upgrade, and you get the other shapes, and those shapes make basically different instruments because how you control it changes how you move through the notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yep. Well, I'm glad that you like that. That's it all comes together. I'm actually launching a Kickstarter for it to get it in motion here pretty soon. But it will be a legitimate interface coming at you probably by this winter.
Oh, dude, sweet.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir. Did we finish that playlist, by the way? I can't
Still
tell.
going, still going. You know, we went through Without You, Beaming Glory, and I think this is the title track, Flawless Solace. This is Flawless Solace, is what it says.
Oh yeah, so that's the guitar ballad kind of thing, the acoustic one.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we did. It's funny. We talked about Toxic Stoner right as Toxic Stoner started.
Oh
right.
Man, we should go back to that one. I really like that song.
Just keep playing it. Play that. Just play it on loop. Hit that one button over there on the controller.
No, I must have listened to that song about 100 times through, just recording it. It was so much fun. I really liked the way it turned out.
Dude, yeah. I love how it turned out. Thank you. That was very nice of you. It was basically home brewed now. 100% home brewed on BandLab now. So.
Right on.
Yeah. I
think that one's a masterpiece, to be honest.
Yeah, we gotta do a couple others like that. I don't know. I just gotta write some random riffs. I'm doing this. You know what I'm doing though? I'm addicted to it. So I don't know how long I'm gonna keep doing it. Making these I don't know, these kind of crazy experimental tracks. I just enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, anyone who's seen some of the music I post, they'll know that it's pretty experimental, and
yeah,
I encourage you to do that, man. Don't ever give up on that, because that's what gives you your sense of your bearing, because then you know where your core skills align from, and then that will give you kind of a direction to point towards and how you want to incorporate the experimental stuff into more traditional music.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
And I was even just thinking right before you said that, oh my God, I want to mix acoustic with some of these things I'm doing. Get some actual acoustic nylon and some spacey sounds, and just put a bunch of reverb on that acoustic nylon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. It's gonna be fun.
That would be cool.
You get gear acquisition syndrome, gas.
Yeah, I definitely get gas, bro.
Man, I get that sometimes. I'm just sitting there going, looking, browsing. What do I want to get? I want to get something. Oh,
yeah,
man.
well, if you're looking to upgrade, one of the best, I think, more of the industry standard in terms of gear, it would be kind of like that Synth Audio 1 kit that I recommended it to you last time, but there's another one that's the official industry standard for sound synthesis and songwriting. It's called Omnisphere, made by Spectronics. That's the sounds. I can't say enough good things, man. The sounds in that are the top cabin.
Omnisphere Spectronics. Omnisphere Spectronics. We just made their.
Yep, that's the one.
We just, with your acoustic in the background and my very amazing voice, we just made their new commercial jingle.
I think so. We'll have to send it in to them.
I'm kidding. You know I am.
No, not. Let's do it. Hey, we featured you on our show. Check it out.
Yeah. Yes. We want money now. I'm just kidding. Up front.
Well, I don't know, but they may consider, letting us sample out and do a review episode of that, of the Omnisphere synthesizer. Sampler, actually. It's a sampler.
I'm going to experiment with that. How much is that one? Is that one you got to buy?
Yeah, it's a hefty investment. It's $500 for this one.
$500? What are you talking about? I can't be getting that.
Yeah, I've been wanting one for years now, but every time it's there's something else that's not as expensive that I need more. But one day.
Damn. That's crazy.
But hey, I was hoping we could, do you want to cover anything about MDW design at all?
Sure, yeah.
And this is some of the work that I do with, other artists, for example, like Kudzu, who I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
What we do, basically comes down to artist development. You can check it out at mdwdesignltd.com.
Yeah.
And it's what we do is we create customized artist roadmaps for navigating the music industry.
Oh, cool.
And in a nutshell, it really comes down to 7 stages of development that we work with our artists, and we named them after like the 7 music modes. You know, the Ionian, Dorian, Mixolydian, Locrian, you know, and then there's Aeolian and Lydian. I already said that one. Oh, anyway, point is that let me pull it up right here. I got it here. Yeah. So there's a stage 1. What we do is the most important part of anyone's music career that I would recommend to any artist trying to, you know, actually pursue it professionally is to identify your why. Just really think about it and isolate and embody that core value of why you make music and why it's the most important thing to you.
Because I want to have sexy arms.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, and because like once you know that why, you know, it allows you to basically continue to have self-motivation no matter what challenges you may face or what happens to the industry. You'll always know why. To never give up. And then so stage 2 really comes into identifying the trajectory of your project. So that we work with them to develop clear, smart goals as artists. And, you know, we have customized worksheets and developmental tools that we use to help them identify that and get that really clear. And once we understand where they want to go with their music, then we'll look at their product, you know, their catalog, their set list, basically. And we'll get that really isolated and make sure that they have just a clear list of all the content they want to include under that particular artist brand.
Oh, my daughter landed on me. My daughter landed on me.
So the last, let's see, so that's stage 3. Then there's. How are your kids?
She's climbing on me.
Oh.
She's climbing on me. What? No, don't.
I want baby cake.
Can't be on this one.
I want baby.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, baby yummy.
Baby pancakes? What? How big are baby pancakes?
No, I want the baby cake.
Pancake, I know, I heard you.
Is it baby?
Mom, are you gonna make her some pancakes?
Some baby ones. Daddy!
Yeah.
I want some baby ones.
You have to go to the store and get some grapes. I need some powdered sugar too.
I have to go to the store and get grapes and powdered sugar.
Not right now.
I can't do that now. COVID closed everything down. What's it like over there?
I'm not going to the store again. I was just out on the road for 2 hours. In the snow.
You there still?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's it like down there, COVID closures?
Oh, man, it's a nightmare. Everything closes at like 9 or 10 p.m.
Oh, man. Luella, don't worry, Luella. Oh, she's.
I mean, you can't even find really a 7-Eleven open past 11 or midnight nowadays.
Yeah.
No.
The Walmart was closed at 9. They now are open at 11. Is how they're open, but still, they used to be 24 hours. They used to be open all night long.
Oh man, dude, at Walmart, don't they make you get like a microchip just so you can shop there now?
Yeah, I put it in my butt.
Really?
Yeah, because I can shit it out whenever I want.
Really?
No. They don't really do a microchip? No, there's no microchip.
Yeah. That some of them maybe like, I mean, in other locations they make you get this microchip so they can scan you like a grocery item when you go in just to be able to shop there to make sure you've had like coronavirus vaccine.
No.
I'm dead serious.
What?
It's yeah,
I wouldn't accept any shit like that. I don't even wear a mask in the wall. I don't even wear a mask in the Walmart, dude.
Wow.
No, I don't. Only time I wear a mask is if I gotta go in a doctor's office. That's the only time I've worn a mask so far. Dentist? And then I'll wear them at work. I'll load this pocket up with Starbursts. I'll just fill it with Starbursts. Thousands and thousands well, not thousands, but 50 Starbursts. And I'll just
like a feed bag.
I'll just take my mask and put it right down here, and I'm eating. Sorry, I'm eating. I can't wear a mask while I'm eating. Sorry, I'm eating.
That is so funny.
I can't be wearing a mask all the time. It's just it's like it's literally violates like my core morals.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it's even more. Let's say it's more dirty than it is to not wear the mask. Actually, because it can, the contaminants will stay in the mask right there, and then people are often wearing the same mask everywhere. It's just actually totally reverse logic.
This is my wife's logic, and this might blow your mind. So Walmart. Normally Walmart's open. This is going to use this example. My Walmart here is open 24 hours a day. So you have how many villagers? 10,000 villagers, and it's open 24 hours a day. How often how many people are in the store if they go over a course of 24 hours at the same time? Versus how many people are in the store at the same time when it's only open 9 to 9, 12 hours? Well, you're going to have twice as much interaction. It's going to be harder to keep 6 feet apart and actually not spread the virus because you're open less hours and everyone's packing in. Because they have to get the same number of fucking items. Number of items isn't changing. Everyone's using the same number of items they always have. I use 10 rolls of toilet paper a week, and I need to get a new towel once a year, and all that bullshit. Everyone has their item number is their item number. They're going to go in there when they're going to go in there. But if they are open 24 hours, maybe there's an average of 30 people in the store at a time, and they're open 12, it's like 60 people at a time. Right?
Right.
You're increasing the interaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Why close anything down? That's the worst thing you could do. Every time you close anything down, you're increasing the reactions somewhere else.
Yeah, it creates the bottleneck.
People are idiots, dude. That's just my opinion on that.
Well, I agree with you totally.
People individually are smart. People as a group think makes us idiots.
Not so much, yeah. I mean, that's why I try to present accurate and truth information about what's going on lately, and so you can check it out here at this little media outlet here. I'll just post it in the chat. It's called the COVID Cure.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of useful information, and definitely will keep everyone informed and in terms of what's actually happening.
Yeah, it's like I said, I sometimes get all these random conspiracy theories because it seems so ridiculous. Some of the things they have you do. Hey, this list ended. Where should we go now?
What's that?
If this playlist ended, where should we go now?
Well, I mean, I was just trying to cover, some of the basically like my artist management stuff that I do with, helping other artists. So if any of your listeners happen to be, trying to develop their professional career, that's what I specialize in, is helping them basically, get their first release launched and just identifying themselves and getting everything clear in terms of the direction they want to go and knowing their trajectory and their music roadmap, basically their pathway they're going to take to navigate to success in the music industry.
Yeah, that can help you a lot if you're trying to move into territory that you're not familiar. Having somebody to guide you, it's always helpful. That's not part of groupthink, by the way. Groupthink is more like, like when we it's almost like when we have like a dictatorship going, it feels like sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, it's totally not like that at all.
and this is totally not like that. This is like a guide. Like what I was going to say though is, you learn from people, you learn from individuals. You do still work in groups. There are still effective reasons for groups, but I'm not trying to dog on all groups. And I think about that when I say stuff like this sometimes. I'm like, People might not know what you're talking about, Chris. Groupthink is like a different thing. It's like it's more like when you when people start to. Have you ever seen this example? There's this YouTube video where people are in a room and there's like a sound goes off, beep or whatever, and the person like stands up. Another person stands up, a bunch of people stand up, and this new lady is like, should I stand or not? And she keeps seeing people stand, so she starts standing. She can't help it. She's got to stand with everybody else. She can't be the only person in the room not standing. And then they reduce the number of people down till it's just her alone. And they do the beep, and she's still standing. And they put new people in, and she starts telling them, you got to stand when it beeps.
That's so funny.
Why you got to stand when it beeps?
Yeah, it creates this sort of like dogmatic tradition, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's what they always did. Look, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep doing it.
I always think that if I hear that beeping, I'm gonna go tear that place apart and like take their equipment and disconnect it and be like, you got this thing beeping over here. Do you know that? Are you aware of that?
Revolution.
Just the other day, I was at a store. And one of their doors, someone had just stolen stuff and went out one of their doors. Their emergency doors. And it's going, beep, 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 beep. And they hadn't done anything. No one had moved. None of the checkers wanted to call it in and go, hey, this door just got opened. I'm like, they're having this chat, and I tell them, the door was open, and they're like, this guy's ruining our day. I was like, are you kidding me? What did you just say? I'm just gonna ring up and get the fuck out of here. What the hell?
Like, yeah, that's so funny.
You just want to go home early, I guess, or whatever. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like, you had one job.
Seriously, I don't work here. I'm not trying to catch thieves here, but I told you that for a reason. I told you about the beeping door. I'm not trying to piss you off. Pretty funny. They didn't even do anything. They didn't get up on the phone and call the manager. They didn't do a damn thing. It blew my mind. I thought I was on another planet. I thought I was in another country. I was like, what the fuck? Really?
Apparently they're not allowed to like chase people out of the store like that now, I guess, but
yeah, but still tell somebody the door's going off.
Parking lots and stuff.
Yeah. They got like a security guard out there.
Yeah.
He's gonna like roll his window down. He's like, hey, you! Put that back!
Somebody stop that man! I don't know.
Seriously though, if you stop enforcing stealing, that's basically what you're doing. Just pointing a finger going, hey, you! Go put that back! He's like, no, I just want it. I want this. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Come again. Did you get a picture of him? Put a picture of him on the wall. Can't stop him when he comes in again. Can't stop him when he leaves next time either. Thanks for the baseball bats, guys. I'm going to kill some people with them. Seriously, though, like, come on. You can't be, like, leaving people do whatever. I swear that's what those people were doing. Like, what? Yeah, that guy could have stolen anything from the store. What did he steal?
Yeah, now they got masks on,
Yeah.
It's a good thing he was wearing his mask.
Yeah, there's one place that says they must be getting stolen from a lot because it says, when you come in, take your mask down first. What is it? Oh, yeah, new password. I forgot my password and I had to get a new password. Oh, I don't know the password. This is the wrong. You got this on the wrong. I don't know.
It's your good email.
I don't know. It's a different email. I have to go check that one. I can't do that right now. I don't know that one. I can't remember it.
It's weird. Literally been since we were gone.
Did you get it? Oh, she got it. YouTube Kids was not turning on and it was requiring my password. Oh, it needs it again? I don't want to say it out loud, so bring it over here. I'll try it again. I'm like, my wife. I have to do it, and I have to do this now.
I gotta go through the process. Hold on.
Stupid passwords. Man,
Hey,
when I signed in today on YouTube, I had to change my password. Do you ever? It's like, oh man.
Yeah, Idiot Burns. I don't know why it's using that one.
It's using this weird email of mine. So let me try a common password I use that I love. Everyone looking at me. Edward Snowden. Did you just get that, Edward Snowden? No, I don't know it.
Hey,
I'll have to try later.
we could find a place to wrap it up here. Is there anything else you want to cover?
Nah, we're just chatting. Just doing a chat. Talk to you about stuff and.
Right on.
Yeah.
I got it.
Wife got it. Wife knows all my passwords. Nice. You can't hear it right now, but we're just sitting back and we're listening to Toxic Stoner. Because I went to your page and just started playing it, and we got there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is it's a pretty epic metal song.
Oh, dude, it is.
Some people were saying that it was just like Metallica, like off of Injustice for All.
Is it? But it's not. Maybe it is. Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool compliment.
Yeah. It is, but it isn't. Hey, I didn't steal that riff. I didn't steal any riffs.
No, they're just saying that they got that vibe from it. Like it would have
Right.
been like one of the songs they would have also written
Yeah, I
on
know.
there. If it,
I figured.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just joking with it. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, so like, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What has been some of the coolest artists that you've featured on here on your show?
Oh my God. It's hard to say, but I love having. I love listening. For some reason, I love listening to new music and hearing new things. So it's hard to pick, but the first time I played Jason Jacobs stuff, I was like, oh my gosh. It was just like it's a perfect example of when you hear something and you know you like it and you're always gonna like it. And so yeah, and that happens. It happens all the time. It happens tons. But there was this guy I really like. It made me feel young again. Jude Pittenger. I featured him. That day that I featured him, it was like I felt like I'd almost forgotten about Weezer for a minute, right? And and he had the stuff in it. It was like super original, and it reminded me of like Weezer, Tom Petty, something else, Beatles, maybe all combined. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, this is really cool. And I'm like, decided to put some drums to it. And I'm like, why is it reminding me so much of these bands? And then he has a Weezer and a Beatles cover right there after I've started listening to this music and jamming with it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how cool is this? And so just that, it's like that was like the day that's like the artist I listened to the most. And I just keep flowing through it and going to listen to different artists and having fun with it. So it's hard to pick them all out, because it's so many. But just every once in a while, you just have an artist and you're like, oh, this is really cool. I'll always give them props while I'm listening. I don't, and I don't always do this to review music necessarily. I just do it, to listen to and have something in the background, and I might as well, feature people and talk about people. And then it's fun because I've had some cool interviews. There was an artist I interviewed, Liam Burns. He's not on here anymore. That was really fun. Rusty Wilkins, and we talked a couple times. Get along really well. But
Rusty's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty active on BandLab too.
Oh yeah. He reached out to me this morning, and just a hello, how's it going, kind of thing. So. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like a similar process for how I basically choose the people that I work with, you know, because I have to believe in their music wholeheartedly, or else it won't work. Like, not only that, but more importantly, they have to believe in their music 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I was talking about, you know, Kudzu. That was kind of, his music had that same effect on me, where it was like a new sound and original, but it had so much nostalgia behind it, like with the other artists that we all grew up with, kind of thing. And you know, there was really something to that. And the interesting part about hearing new music is that it was scientifically proven that listening to new music, you know, keeps your brain healthy and creates new neurological pathways to keep it, like, you know, just on point.
Yeah, I can't take my hat off because my brain grew so much. My head is shaped abnormally now. Listening to your music, dude, it's made my brain expand.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
I do like
Likewise.
your music a lot.
Likewise, my friend. Appreciate that.
We're in a loop now on Toxic Stoner, take after take.
Oh, well, let's see if you want to check out a new song that I have coming up here. I'd have to send you an exclusive invite for it, but you know, that's very doable.
I see you. You did something with the Pirates of Seven Seas.
Yeah, that was a collaboration with you know, Rick. I think you featured him on your show yesterday.
Yeah, I
But yeah, go ahead. If you got that
I
one,
love
you're
his
welcome to
music.
play it.
I love his music. I
Yeah,
want to play that right now.
He's a great songwriter. Rick and I have been playing music for years now, I think. He's an old buddy of mine, and we met actually online somewhere on the Song Tree, actually.
Oh, Song Tree. Yeah, he showed me that app. I keep it on my phone. I use it randomly.
Yeah, man, I personally love that app. It's been really kind of like a sweet and tender memory of mine too, for song creating, songwriting.
Yeah. This is me singing.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. It was that very piratey, like pirate effect, like you're on Bad Lab.
Just having
This
fun.
is a great theme song for a TV show.
Hell yeah, dude. It's funny because I'm just listening to the lyrics. It's like written by a kid, it feels like.
Hey, well, Dr. Seuss was one of the world's best poets, so
Exactly.
here on Bad Lab.
You're cracking me up, man. You almost did it at the right spot.
Oh, look, somebody added some harmony vocals to it. I see now. Have you heard that version?
No.
It's I'm listening to it right now. I think it's
Or maybe.
I think Jordy Fons might have done it.
I might have.
Too funny.
I'll have to hear it again. I'll just go look in there. Yeah, the other day I was writing with my son, and we wrote this song. Do you hear it yet? TNT.
Which one?
TNT. Meat sticks. Milk to wash it down.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
My son, he goes, we're sitting in the room in the kitchen, and he goes, there should be a song that goes TNT, TNT, TNT. I go, dude, there is a song that goes TNT, TNT. He goes, what? He goes, is there a song that goes TNT, meat sticks? I'm like, no, I don't think so. He goes, there should be a song. There should be a song that goes TNT, TNT, meat sticks, and milk to wash it down. And I go, what to wash it down? Milk to wash it down. I go, well, you don't even drink milk, dude. You just drink water. He goes, I know, but milk to wash it down because it's spicy.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, that's awesome. And I go, And I try and sing it. I go, TNT, meat sticks, milk to wash it down. He's like, no, Dad. It has to go TNT, meat sticks, milk to wash it down. And he goes all low. It has to be lower. You have to go lower. You can't go higher. You can't go up when you're saying wash it down. So I go in the back and I start playing guitar, like a riff that I might be able to sing that to, right? And I end up getting, this riff. I get it on loop on the amp, and I record drums to it. Then I go back and I record the actual riffs to this like 3.5 minutes of jamming to it, and I sing and record to it. TNT, meat sticks, milk to wash it down. And I record it and I show it to him, and he goes, there needs to be something else. Basically, when I was singing it first, just singing it. Hadn't recorded it yet, but it was singing the two playing together, and I was singing it, and he said, dude, you said meatballs. I'm like, what? He goes, you said TNT meatballs. It's not meatballs, it's meat stick. I'm like, oops. And then we made this song. It cracks me up. And today he said he's going to record on that song, and he has another song he wants to do. He was telling me today.
How old is your son?
He's 8.
Oh, man, he's already a rock star. Look at that.
Yeah. He's like, he's going to sing on that, so I can't wait. He said, well, I'll do it next week on Tuesday.
Very cool.
After my school, I'll do it next week on Tuesday after my school. Okay, Dad? I'm like, okay.
Well, I look forward to seeing how that turns out.
Yeah. So do I. I'm going to see if he actually does it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's pretty funny, actually. Because it was out of the blue. He's never really tried to write a song until just all of a sudden, there should be like this. There should be a song like that. He's putting together Legos while he came up with that, by the way. You ever play Legos?
Oh, yeah, back in the day, all the time.
Man, I love Legos.
All about building stuff.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's two things. First, you get the Legos, and you have the instructions, and you have every part, and you build it to the instructions. But then you take it apart, and you make what you want to make.
Exactly. Get real creative with it.
Right. You combine two different sets. Make something new.
Frankensteining it.
Yeah, I was telling him, you know, he gets, because he kind of gets like, hey man, you spend a lot of time on BandLab and making music all the time. You should spend more time with me. Kind of a little attitude. And I said to him, well, he was playing with his Legos. So you know when you get your Legos, and you start putting them together,
yeah.
Then you rebuild it to something else. When I learn a song that someone else made, that's like putting Legos together in the way the instructions say. And then when I go make my own song and I take in parts and influences from it, that's allowed because I'm making my own thing. I'm just using parts. And I do that when I make music. I take things apart and I make my own thing based on the little pieces that go on other songs. And to him it made sense. Oh, I get why you make music now. And that's when he came up with that song.
Aw,
pretty cool.
Adorable.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for him, man. I hope that he turns out to be, you know, a good rock star like you.
Yeah, you never know. I always think it'd be really cool to jam with your kid, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See what you know, your creation gets to create with you.
Yeah. Maybe he'll play punk. Who knows? Maybe he'll play jazz. You never know. I'll accept it. Whatever he's into. If he's into certain genres, if he's into multiple, I'll try and help him along the way. If it's anything like some of my cousins, like, you know, sometimes just doesn't. They get better than you. What are you gonna do? You can't keep up with them. I don't write like some of my cousins write better stuff than I do. I swear. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to get different musical perspectives like that from, you know, your own family.
Yeah. Like, for instance, my brother, I think he's actually the better vocalist than I am. My little brother.
Oh, really?
He doesn't really do anything with it. He did like a couple rap projects, but he's not really actively recording. But I think his voice is better than mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is he on BandLab?
No, I can't get him on BandLab. He's like busy doing his own stuff.
Oh, okay.
I have his stuff on BandLab, but he doesn't put it on.
Right
He doesn't really use BandLab. He like commented one time, more like in the last 6 months, and he goes, "You had this wrong. It's actually this date or this date." Like he's correcting me on what I put wrong on the notes of the song. And that's about, he's very rarely on there. He's just on there to maybe listen to the songs he recorded,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't record on and use BandLab. Too bad. But I think we'll see, because he's been considering restarting this rap group he's in. And he might, when I post them, then, if he lets me, and I post them after he finishes them, on BandLab to his account, he might join the band. I might be able to get him to join the band that he's in.
Well, that would be something.
I sent him the invite like 5 times now. He hasn't even joined it yet. Maybe when he actually is putting something out that he just did recently, instead of it being his old material that I put up, because he said that's cool, thanks. Maybe he'll actually go on there and want to see what people are saying. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what comes of it.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get people on BandLab, I know a ton of musicians, but it's hard to get them to go on BandLab. Not every musician records themselves, that's the second half of it,
Yeah, totally. And it gets to be frustrating sometimes, because, I know tons of talented musicians who, they're like, hey, we should jam, man. I'm like, dude, we can jam anytime from where you're at. Just download this app, and I'll show you how. And they just never do it. It's like, well, they're missing out.
Yeah, what app do you use?
Well, the BandLab is, but
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
Reluctant to download it or something, or they just don't know how to use it yet or something. But
right, I had a buddy.
You.
My buddy got an electronic drum kit, and I was like, dude, record some drums. I'll play guitars to it. We don't even have to make it public.
Yeah.
I played it. He and I used the same recording equipment. He knows all the same stuff as me. I know it. He went to school for it for a little bit. He knows how to do it. Get on BandLab, dude.
It's weird. I don't understand what people's hang-up is about it.
I don't know. Maybe people just... So I like to say people change priorities and they don't want to do it as much, but I bet he still jams with certain bands. It's just,
Daddy?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Yeah.
Sorry, my daughter's talking to me now. What'd you... You make this an egg. You have an egg. Why do you have an egg?
I have beans.
Okay, well, go give it to Mom. Go give it to Mom.
Go get powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar? Okay. She's telling me I need to go get powdered sugar.
Well,
Yeah.
This is probably a good place to wrap it up anyway. I think we've covered everything for the time being.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it was nice chatting with you.
But thanks for having me so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk about everything, and it's been fun.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
All right, man.
Hopefully we can do this again sometime. And until then, keep rocking, brother, and I'll talk to you very soon.
You too, man. Night.
All right. Cheers.
Let's see what plays next. We'll listen to one more song. There we go. Something we collab on. Might as well end it there. You guys, that was the interview with M. Dallas W. You can go check him out. bandlab.com/M. Dallas W. All one word, no underscores. I'm going to go relax with the family. Catch y'all on the flip side.